Hi, for those of you who may not know me, my name is Gordon, and I'm sitting out in the back garden, and I'm gonna, this is gonna be the most strange reaction video because I haven't actually got a video to react to. Why would you be quiet? And it's to Leonard Cohen-Who By Fire. I'll go through the reaction and I'll tell you why. Leonard Cohen, in case you don't know him, he's Canadian, died a few years ago, a couple of years ago, poet, singer, songwriter, alright, good person, and it's one of his songs, Who By Fire, and been thinking about the meaning of that lately. I would ask you to go and listen to it if you don't know it. It starts very simply, who by fire, who by water, who, I can't remember the line, who by his or hand, who by his command, who in the merry, merry month of May, who by slow decay, and who shall I say is calling. Now, the who shall I say is calling is at the last line of each verse. First of all, who is the person that is asking the question? Simple answer, the songwriter, but since the songwriter is gone, the one answer is the singer or the listener. It's you. The question is obviously when you say who by fire, it's at a time where death, or you pass on now, or now it depends on your own religion. You may feel that death is only death, that we don't go further than that. It may be that you think there's an afterlife. That's a question, but that doesn't matter. What matters is it's us, and that's a question we have to ask. And who are we asking? There's no mention of afterlife, there's no mention of that. The question we are asking is, who shall I say is calling? Not wasp. And at least it's only wasp. There are friggin' midges about and I can feel them, but I'm trying to resist it. For those of you who don't know what midges is, they're the most tiniest fly out with the most sharpest needle. They drink your blood and yes. But, so the point is, what was I saying? Who shall I say is calling? We're asking it to ourselves because we're saying, who shall I say? So I am saying it. So the judgment is myself. I have to put myself forward and say, who am I? I'm at that stage in life where it's at a crux and it might go, and I have to say, who am I? And why that's so relevant these days is in Gaza, people are starving, there's ethnic cleansing, and we know that. And most of the world's speaking up against it, but for Israel, and America, the big players. But even in this country, in the UK, we're still supplying Israel. We're still trading with Israel. We're still providing the power that they need to carry out their ethnic cleansing. And we can say it's our government, what were we? But when we think back on what happened in the last biggest ethnic cleansing in Nazi Germany, it was, number one, I remember Chamberlain coming back, holding a piece of paper saying peace no time, flapping that Hitler had signed this, and how often, if that's been said by Trump or by our own Prime Minister or whoever, and no, it doesn't stop. So, and we can say our government's not acting on our behalf, since most of the people in this country, who would actually go for ethnic cleansing? Who believes that shit? Because they're going for Hamas. But they're not killing Hamas. They're killing people, kids. In the ethnic cleansing, they are saying that the kids are future fighters. Man, that's, yeah. So they're justifying the death of babies, and they're doing it. And they can say it's our government. No, they can't. Sorry, I just threw the ball to the dogs. Who's going to fetch? So, look at the guilt that the Germans have. Look at how they have been backing up and scared to go against Israel because of the guilt. Because although relatively few weren't actively involved in ethnic cleansing, the nation shut their eyes and turned away. Some of them may genuinely say they didn't know, but so many did. And they knew. They put their kids out of fear or whatever to the Nazi youth. But the combined guilt afterwards, when the misinformation, when they had to face what they didn't face up to before the war, when they had to face it and they realised what they hadn't done, that they shut their eyes, they said nothing, they did nothing, they let it happen. Sometimes because Hitler made them, gave them more money, gave them more comforts, gave them an army they could be proud of, or appeared to. So, but to them, they just shut their eyes. Who's shutting their eyes today? I mean, I can say that our government hasn't done enough. Look at America. I mean, America, they can say it's Trump, but they voted him. And they can say, even we voted for that, our government, or did we? But that doesn't mean to say that we don't have the power. Government doesn't have the power over us. They are beholden to us. And that is so. There is power in the people. I mean, if we had suffered disobedience, if we did something totally, if we said, right, no more money to the government, no doing this, we're not doing that, and we marched en masse, we could stop that. I'm not saying a revolution or whatever, but we can force hands. We are the people. Up in Scotland, well, we have the power to pull away because we're not like that. Like we would take more people in this country, we would take, the discrimination isn't so bad. But all of that, I mean, it's fear. We can have the power. Young, if any of you's young and you're watching this in this country, you need to think hard. Because you could say that the older people, we're doing this, we're doing that, you've got no freedom, you would love to have the power to stop these wars, to do this, that and the next. How many hours a day are you sitting, soaking in the shit that's being said on the internet? How many of you take it in? How many of you don't totally take it in, but take enough that it twists your view and things? But besides which, you think it's your life, you wouldn't give it up. The life, oh shit, that midges. The life in it. But all the power, the people that own, the people that, I can't remember the name of the word, that, feed you everything and feed it in a way that it's far right, far left, they don't like the middle. They feed what they think. They lie and they feed you the lies because they know that you see it as the truth, or at least a lot of it. They maybe have the power, their algorithms maybe have the power, but actually if you had the power and you all switched off and you stopped their source of money, their source of income, their source of power, and you put your foot down, you as a large group of young people, old people, of which you stopped, do it for a week, stop everything, don't use the social media. The people that are in power, the far right, because money attracts money, that's all they want, the power and the money. It's not all of them are inhuman. It's human. I remember we have aspects of our motivations. And one of our Alfie, who the hell are you shouting at? I hope it's not the midges. One of the aspects of your motivation. Look at this. Go, give me the ball. Give it to me. How am I to throw the ball if you don't give me it? Eh? Does he learn? No. He wants me to play fetch, but he won't bloody well give me the ball. Yes. Anyway, what was I saying? We all need love, family, but we can pigeonhole it. I can't remember who it was. It may have been Primo Levi, but there was one of the survivors of the Holocaust who was a boy in the camp, and it was his job to pick up suitcases or carry them once people came off the train and they went their way. They knew what was happening, and they were standing waiting. And in front of them there was 3 or 4 Nazis, uniform, and they were the ones that would make the choice, straight to the ovens or to the work camp. And they were standing casually speaking, and one of them took out a bar of chocolate and he broke it and he was passing it around, and suddenly he just turned around and casually, barely looking at him and then looking away, he passed one to the laddie. And first he didn't know, because was he going to then kill him for taking it, but he took it, and it was worth a fortune. I don't know whether the point was, it was afterwards, it was the biggest thing that haunted him, because that act was of casual kindness, and it was a realisation to that wee boy, and especially afterwards, that these Nazis, these animals at the camp, they weren't animals, they were human beings, just like him, just like any of us. Alfie, my God, would you stop howling it? It's not even the moon to howl at. You're mad as a hatter. Anyway. Look at the cute, quiet ones. Yeah. All that curls is going tomorrow. Your haircuts. Anyway. It was the realisation that these were human beings, and that they would be going home, and they would have wife and kids who they loved, and they would sit having a meal, dinner. But these were human beings. They were not animals. They weren't devils, demons. They were human beings, the same. And there was other things, that he would steal of another dying person just to sustain himself. Right, you're going to fetch. Fetch. Keep them for a second. And that was the most haunting thing. But they could obviously cut them. They could close their eyes. They could feel when it was, and probably were more loving with their family, because they cut it off in their daily lives. And these people, any of them, they would have had to live with that. And Primo Levi couldn't live with it. Later on, he committed suicide years after. And it was these haunting things. But why I'm saying this is, don't cut off. Don't become dull to what's happening in Gaza. And don't become dull to the lives being lost in Ukraine, other places in this world, where power, money, all these things are the highest motivation factors. Don't separate religion and love, because religion is a schooling, it's human, and religion can be twisted. So can non-religion, by saying it's nothing. If you are a humanist, if you are an atheist, don't say it doesn't matter, because there's nothing. There's love. And if it's only electrical impulses, fuck me, it's motivating. It's one of the biggest motivating factors in this world. If we were walking along a road like that Nazi, to an extent, if we were walking along the road and a pram with a baby was going in front of a bus, we would be grabbing it or pushing the pram away and putting our own life, not thinking about our own lives. We'd do that automatically. That's hardwired into us. It's empathy. It's what's happening in America and other politics and business. The people that say there's no place for empathy in politics or business or anything like that, lying bastards. Nope. They are going against what is natural. They're twisting. They are excluding a large part of human beings. Call it humanity, call it religious, whatever you want to call it. It does not matter. It's wired into us. It doesn't matter what you say. It's all the same. I acknowledge that. None of us are better than any of the rest. We're all chalk tamps and swains. So, getting back to the song, when you sing "Who Shall I Say Is Calling," I think when see to push that hard and say that's when I'm gonna die. No, you could die at any time. Who's to say what's going to happen? And it's not what, it's who. It's you. It's your mind, your soul, your body, whatever way you count it. It's you holistically. So it's not, am I rich, am I poor? It doesn't matter shit. You can accumulate anything you want. You can't take it with you. But if by accumulating it, you're taking it from others, what does that say about you? The who. Not what, the who. Who would, what values is there in a person that would take from when they don't need it and continue to take from when they don't need it and leave others without when they don't need it? What kind of person is that? What does it say about that person? So there's no value in that. We are a social animal, and more than that, empathy exists because it's good for us as human beings. It's one of the things. It's one of the things that's putting us top of the food chain. Well, top, yeah, but it's quality. If you go on YouTube and look at whales doing something to help humans, apes helping other apes, whatever it is, there's something inherent in these high beings, something that they live in, that they help other animals. There's something that they see, something bigger in life. And it can only be wiring, but what it does is it makes them stronger. It makes them stronger. It's for the better of all, not just mankind, all animals, the whole world, nature. It needs that. And it's high value. So, sorry, I'm getting the ball for the dog. Right, laddies, who's going to fetch? Right. Yeah. So think of these things. Feed it in yourself. You've got family, neighbours. Neighbours aren't just the people near you, the neighbours are other human beings. If we help one another, there's people escaping shitholes and troubles, and they're trying to get here, and we're throwing all we can to stop them getting here, but we're doing no help to keep them back in their own land. We're dealing with the same people that are oppressing them. We see that as strength or whatever. We interfere, we sell arms. We put power. Power is corrupting. We could be encouraging the opposite. We could be making their lives better in their homeland. We could be more accepting. We could, yeah. Anyway, all I'm saying is, who by fire? Who can you say is calling? Apart from that bloody dog. Who can I say is calling? And be good, be better, be active. Why don't we all do something? Why don't we all put pressure, make the government do what we want? Don't put money into regimes that are ethnically cleansing, are killing babies, shooting babies, killing old people, killing and justifying it with shite. It's no shite that they had people killed. They lost, and that's a horrific thing. But they made it more horrific. Truth will, in some point, come out, because some of the people that were killed, some of the many that were killed on that day when Hamas crossed the border, was killed by Israelis because they were killing people but they were their own people going back, being taken back into Gaza. So many of them were killed. Babies in ovens and all that. Absolutely no proof for yes, but there was rape. And the soldiers are raping prisoners in Israel, raping them to death, which has happened. I must stop, but we have power. You have power. I mean, you collectively, there is so much power. What to do is to go into the website for Leonard Cohen's own website and listen and think about it yourself. Who are you saying that's calling? Do you like it? Then do something about it. Are you the kind of person that can watch a Holocaust happen and then feel guilty afterwards? Or are you somebody that will actually do something? Will force the hand of your own government? Force from that, the hand of other governments can be forced. If we collectively in this world, if we take power away from those that hold our own power, we could yes, make them be our government, not the government, our government. Yeah, it's a beautiful song, very simple and a beautiful song. So, you want to say cheerio, Chet? That's it. Say cheerio. Alfie, you gonna say cheerio? Alfie! Alfie! Stop that shouting. Sandy! I'm coming with the ball. Right. I still say cheerio. Oh, I'm gonna have to go in the mid. She's driving me friggin' batty.